Hey there, fellow chess enthusiasts, and welcome back to my YouTube chess channel. Today we have an exciting and enlightening topic to explore: how to checkmate a single king with only a bishop and a knight on the chessboard in the endgame. This endgame scenario may look tricky and for a chess beginner even impossible, but with the right techniques you will be able to master it and secure victory in your chess endgames. So let's not waste time and jump right into it. But before we delve into the specifics, let's talk about the setup. In this endgame, we will obviously have a king and a bishop and a knight, and our opponent will just have one single king. And the challenge here is to use your knight and the bishop harmoniously, so together, to put the enemy's king in the corner of the chessboard and deliver the final checkmate blow. It's also very important that you pick the right corners of the chessboard, because only in 2 corners of the 4 corners of the whole chessboard this endgame techniques really work. So let's just imagine a simple example. The black king stands here somewhere in the center of the chessboard, let's just say on d5, and our 3 chess pieces, so the king, the knight and the bishop, are standing on a1, b1 and c1. So this is definitely the hardest example which I could imagine, because the black king is still standing in the center of the chessboard, where it's obviously impossible to checkmate him. Because how I've just said, we have to bring the king in one of the corners of the chessboard. And now the question arises, in which corner exactly? Because the most important rule, if you want to checkmate a single king, is to get him in a corner which has the same color as the color squares on which our bishop is moving. So in this position, our bishop stands on c1, which is a black and a dark square. So our bishop is dark squared. Therefore, we can only checkmate our opponent's king here on d5 in either the a1 corner or the h8 corner, because these are the both corners of the chessboard which are black. So if I would try to get the king in the other 2 corners of the chessboard, either the h1 corner or the a8 corner, I would just lose lots of time, and probably the result will be that I will draw in the game because of the 50 move rule. So now it's important to work together with our 3 chess pieces, not only the knight, not only the bishop, but with all of them 3 together. I will show you now the fastest way in this position how to checkmate this black king on d5. Because actually you can start with lots of different moves. For example, we could start in this position now with knight to c3. And in this position the black king will all the time try to stay in the center of the chessboard, because black's intention is here to only achieve a draw right now. So let's say he escapes now on e5. Now bishop to e3, blocking these 2 diagonals. The king escapes, let's say, on e6, and now we want to get our king closer to the center of the chessboard. So king to b2, king to e5, king to c2, king to e6, king to d3, and now king to e5 again. Here in this beginning we can still play lots of different moves. The key is just to slowly push the opponent's king in the corner of the chessboard by blocking his escape possibilities with our light chess pieces, and of course also by our king. So here in this position we can, for example, play now knight to e2. The black king goes to d6, we play king to d4, the black king goes again on e6, on which we play knight to g3, probably looking a bit weird in this position. So the king escapes again back on d6, now bishop to f4 with check, king e6 again, on which we play the very strong move bishop to e5, completely blocking these 2 diagonals and forcing the black king to move on the 7th rank. So let's just say he moves on e7. And the next move here is very important, because with king to d5 we are now using the opposition, forcing the black king to stay on the last 2 ranks of the chessboard, getting him closer and closer to the edge of the chessboard. The black king goes to d7, and now we play knight to f5, even forcing the black king to move on the last, so the 8th rank of the chessboard. Let's say on c8, because the black king, knowing that he cannot be checkmated on a8, tries to get as far as it's possible from the h8 square. And now we again use the opposition by playing king to c6, forcing the black king to move on d8. And now we got the black king on the edge of the chessboard and only have to get him and push him in the corner of the chessboard. Bishop to c7 with check. The black king can only escape now on e8, because on c8 he would have gotten checkmated with knight to d6. Therefore he moves on e8. Now king to d6, king to f7, bishop to d8, king to g6, knight to g3, followed by king to f7 again. We play king to b7, king to g6, king to e6, king to g7, followed by bishop to f6, on which the black king escapes on h6. So the black king is basically already at the mercy of his fate, because now we play king to f7 here, forcing the black king to move now again on h7, using the opposition here on the chessboard. And now we have to be a bit careful, because now if you play directly knight to f6, trying to get the knight now closer also to this corner of the chessboard, then this would be just a very embarrassing draw, because the black king cannot move anymore. It would just be a stalemate. Therefore we play this position knight to e2, king to h6 again, knight to f4, king to h7, on which we play the very strong move, which is bishop to g5, forcing the black king in this position to move in the corner of the chessboard, so on h8. And now in this position we play knight to g6, king to h7. Knight to f8 with check, king to h8, and bishop to f6 with finally checkmate. Now you have learned how to checkmate a single king with a bishop and a knight. It's actually not that difficult and not that hard. You just have to use all of your 3 chess pieces together, so your king, your knight and your bishop together, to push the opponent's king slowly at the edge of the chessboard and then in the corner. And always remember that you only checkmate the king in a corner which has the same color as the diagonal squares on which your bishop is moving. So this was it already with this video, in which I have shown you how to checkmate a single king with a knight and a bishop. And I really hope that you liked this video. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like there and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share this video with others who don't know yet how to checkmate a single king with 2 light chess pieces. So till next time, bye!